Ringing up Christopher Browell again.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07769247196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh yes, hello Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussein here regarding my brother Mr. Talib Hussein. Today is Sunday, the 10th of September 2023 and the time is midday. And I'm once again leaving yourself a message. No doubt you're not working today because your phone's off, but your phone does be on during the week. And it is a work phone number, it's not your private phone number. And your work number, and you work for Bradford Council, so it's a Bradford Council phone number that I'm calling up. And no doubt I anticipate that this call is going to be recorded and reviewed not only by you, but by your senior managers, such as Vicina Brown, Nadia Khan, Mark Trewin, and the Health and Wellbeing Director, Ian McGregor, or I can't remember his proper name. McKenna, I think, and also Kirsten England, and no doubt Susan Hinchcliffe. But most importantly, it's going to be reviewed by your solicitor, Graham Kenner, who has contacted me recently only to give me a brief couple of words description. This is not acceptable, and my brother has human rights. It's my brother's birthday coming up next Friday, hence why I'm going to ring you up and try to ensure the fact that you remove the police bails that you the council, have put in place. The police would never put bail conditions such as the ones that you put in place. The local authority, effectively instructed the police to come and arrest me from our home. It was clearly a contrived setup. It was quite evident that your intentions were to come and destabilize me and abduct my brother. It was quite clear from the first moment that your associate told me it's a welfare check. Every single welfare check that you've done in adult social care, especially regarding me and my family, is targeted to victimize and persecute and oppress me. They're not into anybody's interest. Welfare checks are meant to be utilized under extreme circumstances where there's clear pending danger. But you are utilizing and abusing this process in order to act ultra vires, abuse of your power in order to create an advantage for yourself. This is an abuse of power and process, and quite clearly fraudulent. Now, I'm ringing yourself up because with my brother's birthday coming up next week, it's not in his best interest to be held captive in your care and custody like this without any recourse to his brother, such as myself. My brother's continuously over the years, over the decades gone and told you over and over again that I represent him. He's authorized me to act on his behalf. This is something that you find irksome, not my brother. Over and over again, you've attempted to sabotage me and my brother's relationship, not knowing the full circumstances and backgrounds to the legal association that we have. You've attempted to get Adalat on board several times because Adalat is quite willing to be your proxy agent to act against the family interest. He's not my brother's family. He's been abusing my brother Talib in his absence. I've told you this. I've raised this as a safeguarding concern 5 years ago when you, the local authority, had instructed judges judges then in January 2018 to make Adalat the deputy. My brother never agreed to this. This is because you have been privately commissioning out the judges and the courts. You do that quite regularly. You've obviously privately commissioned out the police in these circumstances. The police should be looking to interview me or get back to me. They're refusing to engage with me now simply because of what your seniors have instructed them. This is just a facade and a charade saying that I was neglecting my brother when these are the very same issues I had brought to your particular attention. I said you're neglecting him by not leaving him any legal recourse, by denying him access, by denying his rights to have a lasting power of attorney for health and welfare. You're not interested in health and welfare, neither in my mother's case or my brother's case. What you're interested in is the money, because you're desperate for money and now you're abusing vulnerable people. You're stealing their benefit money. Yeah, benefit money that you're stealing from my brother in order to meet your own deficit, and you're looking to target and victimize me. This is not acceptable, Mr. Browell. This is not acceptable, Bradford Council. I urge you to remove the bail condition so I can see my brother at least. The present circumstances are such that you've kidnapped him. You have no rights or legal authority or any rights over him. He's a sentient sovereign person. You have kidnapped him, forcing him on medication. This is all illegal. You must know it's illegal because there are laws preventing you from doing this, but you don't seem to. You're so desperate in order to cover up your own failures that you're continuing to murder people, particularly my family members, and obviously looking to terrorize and traumatize someone like myself who's simply been providing care for my brother. You can't accuse me of getting the money now, can you? Ha ha, because I didn't collect the money. You were trying to rope me and, trying to set me up. I did not trust you for 1 second saying you're going to give me the money. It was no money's been given to Talib. You were trying to give me the money so you can then set me up as you were instructing Adalat to give him the bank card. You were trying to insist that my brother gets a bank card so then you can sit in power and authority and you have collect evidence for every transaction and then utilize that and place us back into under police surveillance or places back into the courts. No, this is not right. My brother's not authorized you to collect any of his money. He's not authorized you. You've got him to sign over his DWP appointee. You've been collecting his DWP benefit money. You've not paid any of his social care money.
15 seconds recording time remaining.
Okay, Mr. Browell, I'm leaving a message stating that it's my brother's birthday next Friday coming up. You should not be denying it. You should be acting in his best interest and looking to remove the bail condition so I can see my brother on his birthday and my sister can meet him as well and he can have access to his family. What you're doing is truly horrendous and oppressive.
Sorry, your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1.
Yeah. So leave my message.
Message sent. Thank you for calling.
So I'm now forced to leave a voice message. This is the way they want to. How degrading and humiliating is this? This is the way they want to do it. We don't want to talk to you because we have got power, we've got professionalism, we've got titles, we're above you, and so we don't need to talk to you. We're not your servants. You're our servant, and we'll get back to you when we're ready to concoct a narrative that serves our interest, like the narrative that they created last time of I was frauding my own family members, all right, to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of pounds and not spending any money on them, and then they had to buy off the judge and buy off the jury and had to undermine the whole British justice system in order to convict me, and now these are the repercussions and consequences to that criminal conviction, and now they're like, we're going to have to concoct up something new, and that concocting up is going to be something that where their hands are get cleaned and whitewashed, and where all blame and allegations are made upon myself to further deteriorate and diminish my position, and whilst at the same time the only way they can achieve this, no evidence, don't need no evidence, we can just lie and bullshit as social workers. We'll just lie and bullshit our way through life, and we'll just say, look, we're just professionals doing our job, and it's him, he's the bad man, he's the Pakistani, he's the Muslim terrorist, he's the fraudster, he's the gangster, he's the drug dealer, he's just playing these little childish tactics of blame games upon myself, when the reality is that my brother's authorized me to act on his behalf. He's been now 32 days that my brother's been he does not know where he is, they do not know what his circumstances are. They were effectively trying to force him to carry out a mental capacity assessment so that they themselves can then state that, he doesn't know what he's doing and therefore we've got legal authority over him. They're trying to force through a narrative that is unachievable, but they believe that they can achieve everything because they're drunk on power and control, and they're drunk on power because all the judges, all of them, all are prostituting out themselves to the council, the police force, 2 police forces now, West Yorkshire Police and Greater Manchester Police, both prostituting out their services to Bradford Council, because Bradford Council collects money from the members of the public through council tax and utilizes or abuses that money in order to buy off services from public authorities in order to achieve their narrative and objective. They've previously bought off the Office of the Public Guardian, they're buying off the Care Quality Commission, they're buying off the CQC, the Information Commissioner's Office. They just buy off all these other authorities, including the courts, including Land Registry, and various other institutions, particularly the National Health Service. all work in the interest of Bradford Council, who themselves are working in their own best interest to cover up their systemic failures in mismanaging public money for a period of over 5 years. They didn't want to have such things brought against them, and they blamed everything upon me, and now they're targeting and probably going to end up murdering my brother. It's been 32 days and nobody wants to talk to us, nobody wants to engage with us, nobody wants to now, everybody's just looking the other way, whistling Dixie, while at the same time creating terror and oppression against me and my brother.